Bubba, where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
And how did you end up in Wilton Manors?
I moved here 30 years ago. I was recruited by American Express to take over their corporate training department. I was a corporate trainer for RCI in Indianapolis, and they recruited me down here, American Express did. And in the month and a half that it took me to get down here, my job was done away with. But that's a good thing because I had always wanted to be a landscape architect. But coming from Indiana, it wasn't a possibility. So when I came down here and didn't have the job with American Express, I decided to go back to school, and I got my degree in horticultural biology. And for 18 years, had my own business. I did some amazing work. I did some design work for Celine Dion, the Anheuser estate that was built in the 30s here in Las Olas. I ran and designed all of their gardens for 13 years. David's Bridal, I had a 5-year contract that I designed all of the exterior sets for their commercials. Macy's Fall Line, I did for 3 years. Worked on Holy Man, the movie with Jeff Goldblum, Kelly Preston, Eddie Murphy. Any Given Sunday with Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx. Striptease with Demi Moore. Rough Diamonds. Did a couple music videos. And then 8.5 years ago, decided it was time to get out of it. I'd done everything I wanted to do, and it was too hot to spend 9 hours out in the sun every day. So friends of mine own this bar, and they said, if you're going to go into retirement, go behind the bar. And I told them no, I didn't want to do it. They talked me into it, and now I've been here. It'll be 10 years, September 19th.
So you retired from your
Yep.
previous life?
Yeah, I'll still take on a pet project every once in a while. I still work with location scouts that if a movie comes into town or a music video that's a short demand, I'll do it.
So what's so unique about your job right now?
The great thing is now is I'm a bartender. I take no work home. I make a phenomenal living. I'm allowed to do my stained glass, pursue my hobbies, because I make good enough money that working 32 hours a week allows me to fulfill my hobbies. I do stained glass, I throw pottery, I've got the soap line, I've got a couple patents in the works. I just fucking, enjoy life. Come on, I spend my day looking at palm trees and sunshine. How can you complain?
Do you think you're escaping from the political reality of the country, or are you affected by what's
Oh,
going on right
big
now?
time, yes. I'm huge. I'm a political addict. Addict. Every night I read. Every morning I read. I'm extremely passionate. I'm extremely disappointed. And I think most of all, embarrassed as an American that we have gotten to a point where the Jerry Springer has won. You know, when Jerry Springer had more views than Barbara Walters or Ted Koppel. We can't criticize Trump because we created this environment. We created it with the Kardashians and the reality shows. We created the pizzazz, the razzle dazzle of a personality. Well, look what we have. Unfortunately, we got what we deserve, basically.
How do you think your job is actually part of the resistance?
My job is not part of the resistance. My job allows me the luxury that I can afford to be part of the resistance. See, that's the great thing about my job. I use my job as a vehicle that affords me the privilege of being active socially and politically and artistically. I love my job because, for bottom line, it affords me. Not a lot of people can say that. A lot of people work 50, 60 hours a week and have to take work home, and they're a slave to their job. I was that slave for 27 odd years. Now I come in 8 hours a day, I look at palm trees, I look at sunshine, and I meet wonderful people. But the money that I make doing this allows me to go home and be politically active. And I do plan on being mayor of Wilton Manors one day. The minute Gary Resnick steps down, I plan on running. But Gary's doing a great job. It would be foolish for anyone to go against him. He's been in office now, I think, 10 years. When he's done, it'll be 12. If he steps down, then I will step in. And my whole goal is to bring ethics back to the political system. And I think that the only way we're going to do that is to force it. We're going to have to get in there, get involved, and I'm going to be the first person to stand up and say, I don't deserve a retirement after 4 years. I don't deserve paid health insurance unless the citizens of my city have it too. 4 years doesn't justify that. Where we came up with serving this country gave you the world for the rest of your life. How many people do you know work for 4 years and are guaranteed a retirement and health insurance? I mean, our veterans aren't even afforded that. Come on. And they've risked their life for our friggin' country. So yes, don't get me started on the politics because I can get on a soapbox big time.
We both see it every day. How is it that people are just literally wasting their lives in alcohol and drugs and worldly manners? How do you think you can be an active helper so that people realize that we have way too much at stake right now?
For the risk of pissing a lot of people off, I'm going to be honest because you're actually interviewing me and I don't lie and I don't mince words. I think we're to blame. I really think that we need to take the ownership. We have older role models that don't step up. I don't know, did you watch We Shall Rise? Okay, so you and I are of a generation, we saw that. It is our job to remind the new generation that it's not as easy as taking a pill. It's not PrEP. PrEP is still a medication. That PrEP is still hurting your kidneys. It's still destroying your liver. And to be blunt, yes, you may be able to take a load up your ass, but you're destroying the inside of your body for that luxury. And for the government to have told us 30 some odd years ago what not to do to become HIV positive, it angers me that 30 some odd years later, we're still the number one newly infected HIV classification in this country. Why have we learned nothing? And after looking at the 30 some odd years, if all that money that had put towards newly diagnosed cases had gone towards research, I think we could be a lot further than what we are. But people party and they say, I don't like condoms. Well, you know what? I don't like putting a glove on before I put my hand on a hot stove. But if I'm going to do it, that's what I have to do to protect myself or I'm going to burn myself. I also think that because of our civilization or our little subculture, that we're not taught to respect ourselves and to love ourselves enough to say, no, I don't know you. You're not going to shoot up my ass. In fact, I don't even know you well enough to let you go up in my ass yet. I mean, if I'm getting too political, tell me. But this is honestly how I feel. Is, yes, I'm no angel. But I've always known when I was going to jeopardize myself. So there's a time that you stand up for yourself and you love yourself enough to say, you know what? You may be positive and I'm not going to judge you. But I'm also going to love myself a little bit to say, we can do certain things that won't affect me.
You have a fantastic advantage over everybody else. You come from a background where you could choose to step out of it. You could choose to live a very, very fruitful lifestyle. How can we, and therefore, because you come from that background, you had the chance to be able to love yourself.
But I'm going to give you a brief background of my life. And where this confidence and courage comes from, I have no clue. I was raised by a very poor redneck family that basically, if you were not white, spoke English, and bought American, you had no reason to live. I, at the age of 5, in my mind, said I can't wait to grow up and meet the man of my dreams and live happily ever after. And even though I was raised in an environment where that was not a possibility, where my confidence came from, I don't know. But I never waved a banner and said I was gay, nor did I ever lie and say I was straight. I lived my life who I was, and if you chose not to be a part of my life, that was your loss, not mine. I don't know where that came from. I'm looking you straight in the eye. Whoever's going to hear this can't tell that. I don't know where that came from. But I also think that we as people who are gay, I think we use the victim card. My father, quick story, at 27 asked me if I was gay. I said, I don't like being called gay because gay describes my sexual preference, and my sexual life is about 2% of who I am as a person. I don't shit gaily, I don't shave gaily, I don't drive to the grocery store gaily, I don't cut the grass gaily, I don't wash my car gaily. So why is it that 2% of who I am labels me as gay? Why can't I be a man who is left-handed, of Polish descent, and gay? Why do I have to be a gay man? Does that make any sense? And I think when we get today's youth and we start saying, you are not gay. Gay is a portion of who you are. We'll teach the confidence and to say, you know what, you can do any. I've never let anything in this world stop me because I was a man that was gay. And I think it is our responsibility to teach the younger ones. I think we should have classes, homosexuality 101. I mean it as a joke, but there's going to be a ton of people that are going to come into your life and they're going to say they love you. Well, they'll love you more if you let them stick their dick in your ass, okay? They'll really love you if you let them shoot in your ass. Well, love yourself enough to say no. I don't know. As you can tell, I get very worked up about this because I think there's a lot of gay men out there who are just looking for love, and they're looking for any way they can get it. And
even if it means compromising who they are.
Compromising their safety, compromising drug addiction, alcoholism. It's very easy to escape and forget when you're drunk or when you're high or whatever. But why don't we teach pride? We have a pride event every year. It's a party where you get drunk on the drive. Why not have a tent and have the CEO of Westinghouse, who donated so many millions of dollars? Why don't we take pride and honor those people? Why is Pride a drunken fest on the drive? Why don't we honor people that have contributed to the gay community and say, this is what we're proud of? A gay man developed this. I didn't even know this, but the Star Spangled Banner was written by a lesbian. Did you know that? I didn't know that till about 3 weeks ago. Why isn't that out there? Why aren't the accomplishments of the lesbian and gay community put out there so that we are proud of these accomplishments and these achievements? Instead of, who drank 3 bottles of Sky vodka last night and didn't throw up? Or who slept with 7 men last night and didn't get crabs? I'm being humorous now, but why isn't that stuff out there? And I think that that's where we need to start. And I also think that every time that a priest molests a child, I think we need to take action. We need to be the first ones on those court steps going, fry him. Because that's who Middle America thinks we are. We need to be the first one waving banners, fry them, so that Middle America sees, wait a minute, okay, so they don't support the clergyman that molested the little kid. They're out on the steps fighting against him. Then maybe we can show the world who we are, and instead of them getting to assume who we are. All right, is that enough for my soapbox?
Thank you.
Read the book. No, I'm kidding.
Buy the soap.
Buy the soap. Read
Where
the
is
book.
it that we can find your soap?
Oh, no, you can't.
You can't.
Yeah, you have to
It's
buy
in
it.
stores?
Yeah, you have to buy it in stores. You have to buy it through
But
retailers.
anyway, if you see it, it's Bubba's.
Bubba's Butt Soap, leader of the crack.